Welcome to Around the Weird. Here's your host, the museum curator of the strange and unusual, Mr. Nothing.
Thank you, mysterious voice, and welcome back to Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I talk about all the unusual and out of the ordinary literature that I've found in my travels. Today it is Poetry Thursday, and as per usual, I want to talk about some interesting poetry that I've found. And today's poem is all about the concept of good as it relates to potentially evil. I am referring to The Interrogation of the Good by Bertol Brecht. For those who don't know, Bertolt Brecht was a German writer who lived throughout the 1900s. He primarily wrote plays, but he also wrote poetry and novels, and mostly in the German language, which was what later translated. He lived through the Weimar Republic and then saw the rise of Nazi Germany, and he had the good sense to leave because he was going to start being persecuted for his beliefs. I think he was a communist or a socialist in some way. And then he eventually made his way to America, but unfortunately, after World War II, there was the Red Scare, and he was called before the stupid House Un-American Activities Committee, and they questioned him about his beliefs and whatnot, which probably would have resulted in him getting blacklisted in Hollywood. And after that point, his family moved to Switzerland to get away from yet another terrible regime that wanted to oppress people of differing beliefs, showing that, throughout history, the United States has not always been morally superior to even the Nazis, even if they haven't done directly what the Nazis done, although try telling that to the indigenous Americans who've suffered through the years. But a lot of what Brecht wrote was philosophical in nature. He even wrote a lot about the theory of theater, the philosophy of theater, talking about reason and didactism. I don't know enough about theater to really talk about that sort of thing, but maybe I should check out some of his other stories, especially because he's pretty well known and I haven't really checked out any of his work yet, but that's probably because I don't read a lot of plays on this channel. But without further ado, let's talk about this poem. I will read it, do a little bit of analysis, and we will move on from there. The Interrogation of the Good. Step forward. We hear that you are a good man, which cannot be bought, but the lightning which strikes the house also cannot be bought. You hold to what you said, but what did you say? You are honest, you say your opinion. Which opinion? You are brave, against whom? You are wise, for whom? You do not consider your personal advantages. Whose advantages do you consider then? You are a good friend. Are you also a good friend of the good people? Hear us then. We know you are our enemy. This is why we shall now put you in front of a wall. But in consideration of your merits and good qualities, we shall put you in front of a good wall and shoot you with a good bullet from a good gun and bury you with a good shovel in the good earth. In terms of analysis, that was The Interrogation of the Good. Specifically, there's no narrative about the poem. I think what's just happening is somebody is being questioned by perhaps a ruling party. Not perhaps, definitely a ruling party, and the people who are questioning are saying, people say you are good, but who are you good for? And who are you supporting? Are you supporting the right people? And ultimately, this person is found guilty, and the ruling party says, in consideration of your good qualities, we'll put you in front of a good wall and shoot you with a good bullet from a good gun and bury you with a good shovel in the good earth. So not looking well for the person who claims to be good. Now, you could argue that it two ways. One, this is straightforward, and that an authoritarian person is shooting someone who is opposing the regime. Not unheard of in the world. Or you could look at it another way and say that this person believes that they are good, that they believe they are a freedom fighter, but they're causing people pain. And so the interrogator is saying, you say you're doing good, but who are you doing good for? and we're going to have to kill you now. We're going to have to execute you for your many crimes, which also isn't unheard of. A lot of people say they're doing good, but they end up causing a lot of harm. See, a lot of conservatives in America now, I'm not necessarily advocating for them to be shot or anything like that, but some people do need to be pushed to the side and not allowed to control the narrative or steer the country in the direction that they choose. But I think if you interpret it that way, though, maybe you're part of the ruling party. Maybe like all of history, like a lot of reality is subjective in that way. Many people claim to be the heroes, claim to be doing good, when actually they're doing awful things. I do think that maybe the ruling class, who is doing a lot of bad things and needs to be rebelled against, probably considers themselves good, considers themselves the heroes of the situation, whereas in real life, they're probably not actually the heroes of the situation. So more realistically, this is just a straightforward poem about authoritarians punishing the good. Because it even says that in the title, the interrogation of the good. Although you could always ask, what truly is good. But I think we're getting into the weeds with that in terms of this poem. So I do like what Bertolt Brecht is trying to do with this poem and what he's trying to say, and how just because you are righteous in your cause, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. Sometimes you end up with a bullet to the head. Sometimes you end up being executed or jailed for crimes against the regime. But I do like, especially at the end of the poem, the use of sarcasm, or irony, one would argue. It says, "But in consideration of your merits and good qualities, we shall put you in front of a good wall and shoot you with a good bullet from a good gun and bury you with a good shovel in the good earth." So, two things really happening there. You can hear the sarcasm in the person who's saying that voice. They don't really care that person is good, and they're still delivering them a death. We're going to give you the good death that you deserve because you are good. Just getting rid of a pain in their sides. It's like they're saying in consideration of your merits and good qualities, we'll put you in front of a good wall. What exactly is a good wall? I don't think these people really have a concept, because a lot of the times people in these regimes, they moralize, but they don't have any concept of good or bad, because they're often doing pretty heinous things themselves, like executing people that are trying to do good. So maybe it's more like trying to put out a question of what truly is good. You think you're doing good, but are you really doing good? Maybe what we're doing is really good, which it's not. But again, those people who do those kinds of things want you to believe that they're actually on the righteous side, when in fact they're probably not. Anyway, those are my thoughts on The Interrogation of the Good by Bertolt Brecht. Pretty solid poem. When I read it, I was like, wow, yeah, this is definitely something I want to talk about on the channel. And very relevant to the times that we're living in right now, at least when I'm talking in 2025. There's the whole ICE raids that are happening, which are causing immense suffering for people. Some people who've been here for quite a while. And then there's also the tariffs, which aren't doing people any favors, and also the federal government sending troops into cities where the troops are not really needed, all to really satiate the ego of the person in power, Donald Trump. So I feel like this very much applies to that kind of administration, and how they would definitely question which side you are on, and even put good people to harm. Maybe not going this far, but every regime doesn't seem like it would go this far until it does. So something to consider there. If you have different thoughts about this poem, or you simply want to comment on something I said here, do so below. Would love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that other people can find out about this poem, this poet, or Poetry Thursday if they don't already know. And until then, I wish you the best of luck in your weird and hopefully good travels. Farewell.